Make some noise for your host, Kid Copious.
What up, perps? Kid Copious. Back in the bunker. Purple State Party. You know what we're repping here, man. America. The center. Common sense. Party streamers. An incoherent speech. Ha ha! Call it like I see it. I know I'm not the best at this. I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to be the most honest. I'm trying to be the most centered and the most common sense. And the most American I can be. So anyhow, this week's episode is entitled Full Mental. Brandon, keeping with that movie theme, folks. So we're looking here at Newsmax. They're sort of middle of the road, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care, man. I check their shit and it comes back true. Majority say President Biden oversold on promises to the point of lying just to get elected. And he did. I don't understand how that's even open for debate. I mean, he was going to be a moderate who was going to bridge the gap between the right and the left, and he was going to unify us. And he's done none of that. He hasn't built back better. It's a disaster. As we're going to see, it's just a freaking disaster out there right now. And it's his policies. These are not holdovers from Trump. You know, every day I read things where people point out what Biden did, where Biden's going wrong. And the only response is blah, 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 Trump, blah, 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 Trump. You know, and I used to think, it's kind of embarrassing at first, we were going to have Hillary Clinton or Trump, and then we ended up with Trump. And, it was a little bit like, hey, on the world stage, we're electing a reality TV show personality who loves to exaggerate. But that embarrassment factor has been dwarfed by Biden. He is a stone cold fucking embarrassment. He's worried more right now about the Ukraine than he is about America. And he's not really doing anything about Ukraine, and he's not calling to task. Trump wanted to take us out of NATO because we're sworn to protect these countries, and these countries don't want to help. Right now, Germany isn't going to help in the battle against Ukraine. Germany wants to work with Russia. Okay? Go figure that. In people's lifetime, people who are still alive today, they saw a day when Germany invaded Russia. World War II. Look it up. Operation Barbarossa. And we've come a long way now. And now we're going back into this crazy period of time where people believe they could trust Russia? Wow. Especially Germany. Wow. But that's what's going on there. Babylon, two of my favorites, Babylon Bee and Bronco, have been really busy this week. The Bee here. Biden considers starting World War III to distract from domestic failures. Where's that a lie? Where is that a stretching of the truth? Okay, maybe he's not trying to start World War III, perhaps, But, yeah. He's using the Ukraine to distract. We're going to see some stuff that he's trying to distract us from. The media is playing right along. That's the part that just burns me up. I mean, if Biden was doing a good job and the mainstream media was triumphing, talking about Biden's triumphs, great, because his triumphs are our triumphs to some degree. Depends on how you feel about certain subjects. But let's talk overall. If Brandon here was doing a great job, America would be in a good place. We were in a good place under Trump. You might not have liked everything he said. You might not have liked everything he did. You might not have liked every single piece of legislation or, whatever. But come on. All right? We weren't struggling. We weren't watching turkey bacon go up 30% under Trump. This is the Democrats have really created a problem. I mean, hell, in California, bacon is becoming scarce because we want to give the pigs a few more feet of room. It's not going to change anything. There's still a pig that's being raised for food. But yeah, his handling of the Ukraine has been abysmal to the point where even the Ukrainian president is talking smack on this guy. What has our exalted idiot of a leader been doing? Well, he has been flying illegal aliens around the country in the dead of night since he took office. These people came across the border illegally. They were picked up. They were given a piece of paper saying that they would appear for their amnesty. Background checks, not performed, not paid attention to. Vaccinations, no, you don't have to be vaccinated. We're going to force our citizens to be vaccinated, but we're not going to force illegal immigrants that come into our country to be vaccinated. These people have no right to be here. And we're giving them plane rides to different parts of the country. We're scattering these people. Some of them have criminal records. Some of them are involved in trafficking. Some of them are just good, honest people looking for a day's pay for a day's work. Okay? But those are the people that we should keep. But we need to be vetting people, but we're not. We're flying them around with secrets, lies, and cries of racism. Biden covers up huge influx of illegal migrants. And that's what they do. When we try to bring up the fact, hey, man, you're not even checking their backgrounds, you're not making them get vaccinated, we're called racist. Because that's the only card they have. They can't fight us on common sense. Just racist rhetoric. Quick, we need to secure the border. Pelosi 2022. Not that border, you idiot. Yeah. This is supposed to be satirical, but that's exactly what's happening. We're thinking of sending troops or arms or some form of aid. We know how that ends. Look up Vietnam. And but they don't want to do anything about the U.S. border. And again, this goes back to a simple fact. The Democrats and people in power, Republicans included, elite people, love to hire illegal aliens to do their work because they get shit on them. Literally and figuratively. They can abuse them mentally, physically, sexually. And there's nothing they can do because they have no recourse. An illegal immigrant can't go to the Department of Labor. They can't go to the police. And even if they can, they're afraid to. So yeah, that's why they love hiring them. People are out there trying to make things better, and they're being hampered with these bullshit COVID policies. Look, I'm vaccinated. Okay, I don't care what you do. If you want to be vaccinated, if you want to be triple vaccinated, if you want to get a vaccine every single freaking day of your life, I don't care. That's not my business. Your health is your decision. That's what I believe in. I don't believe in mandates. If the vaccine stopped the virus dead in its tracks, then I'd be for it. I would say we need to get vaccinated. And I've said it before. I've made a whole video about that. But the truth of the matter is it's not stopping the spread. So I don't see how mandates are warranted. That's my opinion. Okay? If you're going to make your decisions based on my opinion, please look it up. Please do the research. Don't just listen to people like Joe Rogan. Don't just listen to Barbara Ferrer, the fake doctor of LA. Don't just listen to Fauci, another fake doctor, a virologist. A guy whose career is spent studying the development and spread of disease. Not how we fight it. Not how we overcome it. No. How it spreads. Right there, Democrat senator admits Pelosi stock trading sways her legislative judgment. That's a big, big red flag for me. Lobbyists, corporate sponsorship of politicians, it's what's gotten us into a lot of messes. We are not being represented. Those with money are being represented. They're getting what they want. And then when they need to go and find a loophole, they have the money to find the loophole. The rest of us just have to live with these shitty decisions. Yeah, this refers to Jen Psaki's remedy of take 2 margaritas and call me in the morning. That's what they think. They are basically saying, yes, America is having problems, so get drunk and you won't think about it. Good message. This is a very, very dramatic cartoon. Probably the best Bronco has ever done. And that's what we see. Okay? The police are in the middle between these left-wing politics and crime. They're trying to hold it back, but the politicians are handcuffing them. And we're seeing rising crime rates. And, You could make all the excuses and you could bring up, oh, well, property crime's down. Yeah, well, if property crime's down but murder and rape's up, are you winning? This is stuff that's plain as day. This is not a matter of opinion, okay? This is not somebody who voted for Trump saying, oh, look how bad the Democrats are. You tell me where this is wrong. You tell me where this is wrong. It was not Republicans who were demonizing the police, okay? It was not Republicans who were cheering on the rioting and the protests that were really unfounded, okay? You know, if a criminal resists arrest and ends up dead, the police officer should be disciplined, probably maybe fired. But to burn down cities over it? Nah. Let's save that for when innocent people are being mistreated. When innocent people who were just minding their own business. Oh, but wait a minute. That would be having to throw a spotlight on places like Chicago where gangs are just shooting at each other to the point where, like, little girls are getting hit in the back of the head. More kids died in Chicago in 1 year than died of COVID in the entire United States. Why don't you focus in on that a little bit more? Why don't you stop trying to figure out how to let criminals and predators out of jail and figuring out how we could better treat them? Why don't we figure out what we can do so that, like, drunk, crazy people aren't just roaming the streets like fucking zombies? This is the full mental Brandon that's going on, man. Okay? Look around. Democrats are a political group that have an ideology. Okay? They're not your family. They're not your favorite football team. All right? If you really don't like what the Republicans stand for, then you got to look somewhere else. That's me. Okay? That's me and people like me. I'm just one dude. I don't have a lot of resources. I can't realistically start a political party, but yet here I am. Here I am trying to pull people back to the center. So maybe you have to vote for a moderate Republican. But it's certainly going to end up with better results than what we're seeing now. The left-wing way of doing things has been on display now, full on, for about a decade. And look what it's resulted in. Everything's more expensive, okay? The streets are not safe, okay? The streets are completely unpredictable now. And those are their policies. So while we can cheer that we have a transgender general, which is great, how does that rate to the average food bills going up, gasoline going up, the cost of living across the board going up? And then when we try to bring it up, we're silenced by the very platforms that should be allowing our voices to be heard, for people to take in our words and think about them and ponder them and research them and make better decisions. That's all I'm asking for. I don't give a shit where it comes from. I support a person like Tulsi Gabbard. I do. She has good ideas. Maybe we need to return to that. Voting for good ideas, not just your favorite team. Copious, doubly out.